significant Pride event takes place today, the Trans March, and we're joined this morning by activist Nicki to tell us a little bit more about it. So there's a big Trans March that's going to happen tonight in Toronto.
That's right.
And tell me, why it's so important, particularly for the trans community.
Well, today is the commemoration of Stonewall, which was the origination of this whole Pride idea. It started out at the Stonewall Inn in 1969.
Riots.
Exactly, it was a riot, and it was a civil action. And so members of the trans community, of which I belong, have marched on Friday night to bring us back to our roots and also to make our case for equal rights in Canada.
Well, and let's talk about that case, because with World Pride going on right now, and it's a fight for education and awareness and equality, the trans community is behind in terms of where other rights are for gays and lesbians right now.
Regrettably, that's true. In Canada today, a lot of people are surprised that right now in the Senate there is a bill, C-279, which will, if it passes, grant equal rights to trans people. As it stands at the moment, there is no protection at the federal level for gender identity. So people like myself can be fired merely for being trans. Another example would be, regressively, and I pray it doesn't happen, but if I were to be put in prison, even though I am a woman and I have the paperwork to prove it, I would be placed into a man's prison today in Canada.
And this has happened in the news before. We've had these cases every once in a while where somebody's been thrown into the wrong jail or treated poorly as a result.
Well, there was a case very recently that you covered with Avery, who was stopped at the border and sent directly to a man's prison, which is obviously completely inappropriate and not consistent with Canadian values. So right now there is a bill in the Senate, okay, C-279, which is just sitting there. It's ready to be passed into law, but because there's not enough political will behind it, it's just stuck. And frankly, it's shocking. We hope that thank you for having us here, and with a march today, and please come out and join us if you can, that will bring some attention to that and get people to stop kicking this political football around. This is not a left issue or a right issue. This is a basic human rights with employment, shelter, housing, healthcare, these kind of things, basic human rights.
And in laws, you get stopping people from being persecuted for any kind of religious or sexual identification, or, I guess more importantly, expression.
Well, they go hand in hand, gender identity and gender expression. I mean, I'm here, I'm expressing myself on television. We have this in Canada, we believe that that's a fair thing, to give everybody a fair kick at the cat. And as it stands at the moment, at the federal level, there is absolutely no protection. And so, as it stands right now, for example, if you discriminate against someone on the basis of color or on the basis of religion, you can't do it. It's protected class in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. That does not exist for people like myself, which is stunning to most Canadians, but it's regrettably, it's the truth today.
So this is going to be a big part of the discussion, too, at the Trans March, to get people to get involved and push for this.
Well, when I tell people this, they're stunned. I mean, that it is not already law, but it's just stuck because of a lack of interest, I think, or I don't know.
Or a lack of understanding, because I think that the assumption on behalf of a lot of Canadians would be that those protections are built in, but they're not in your case.
In our case, yeah. So we hope to get that message out more broadly, and yeah.
Okay. Nicki Ward, I know you've got a big day and a long day ahead, because it doesn't start until 8 o'clock tonight downtown, but thank you so much for coming in.
And do try and find us. We're a community-based march, so we're a little hard to find, but we're at George Hislop Park in Toronto, and you can watch us online if you're not in Toronto today.
You can watch and take part online. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
So the Trans March, by the way, does take place at 8 tonight, as mentioned, and the rally will begin at 7.